Hi, I'm Lisa. Welcome back to Biblical Reality Check. Things get pretty wild in this episode. From Pythagoras to Jesus to Heisenberg, we plunge deeper into the quantum realm where uncertainty reigns and the smallest things whisper the biggest truths. But let's begin with some background principles that really helped bring quantum mechanics into the mainstream of physics. In 1927, Werner Heisenberg revealed reality's fuzzy heartbeat with his uncertainty principle. The uncertainty principle is a fundamental concept in quantum mechanics that says that it's impossible to simultaneously know both the precise position and momentum of a subatomic particle. The more accurately one quantity is measured, the less accurately the other can be known. A trade off rooted in the wave like nature of quantum particles and not a limitation of measurement tools. Then, in 1964, John Bell's theorem was a seismic shift in how we understand reality. He proved that reality is wilder than Einstein ever imagined. Entangled particles, cosmic twins, sync across galaxies. Alain Aspect's 1982 experiment confirmed it. Measure one, and the other snaps to match. Heisenberg, Bell, and Aspect shatter the fixed five-sense world that Richard Dawkins champions. We live in a realm of quarks, energy, wavelengths, and quantum states, humming with potential until observed. And quantum mechanics doesn't chant religion's perfect God. It's a restless one, a hum of expansion, not omniscience. As unbelievable as it may sound, quantum principles harken all the way back to Pythagoras' tetractys, a sacred triangle of numbers that hums with divine geometry, to Jesus' mustard seed that grows into the largest of all trees, and even as far back as the Bible's book of Genesis. Let's start with Pythagoras. Pythagoras was a 6th century BC Greek sage and math mystic who didn't just crunch numbers, he heard the hum of the universe. His tetractys, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, wasn't just a cold calculation. It was inspired mathematics that uncovered the starter kit for creation. When arranged in the shape of a pyramid, the numbers contained all the basic building blocks of creation. 1, a single dot, 2, a line, 3, a triangle, and 4, a squarish tetrahedron in 3D. To Pythagoras, this arrangement of numbers was not just a pretty shape, it was the mapping of creation. Pythagoras saw the number 1 as the primal source from which all numbers arise. 1 represents the unity, the 1 growing into the 10, step by step. Sound familiar? It's like the mustard seed Jesus references in Luke 13:19 to say, "The kingdom of heaven is like a grain of mustard seed, which a man took and put in his own garden. It grew and became a large tree, and the birds of the sky live in its branches." Small start, big finish. The seed growing into the largest tree is nothing short of a biblical metaphor for the Big Bang, where the universe began as just a single point, then expanded and stretched to grow as large as it is now. The Bible's book of Genesis maps the same mechanics for reality as Jesus and Pythagoras did. Genesis chapters 1 to 2 are a coded blueprint for how the source of all creation, what I call the hum, partners with the universal laws of energy to turn a void of potentiality into structured reality. Are you ready? Let's decode this together. The book of Genesis begins with the words, "Now the earth was formless and empty." Darkness was over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. The formless and empty earth and dark deep described in Genesis 1:1 evokes a chaotic, unformed state with God's Spirit poised to act. This void is chaos, but not in the modern sense that we think of chaos as a hectic mess. Rather, it's a state of pure potential, lacking structure or purpose. You can think of it like a blank canvas before the artist's brush hits it. No shapes, no colors, just raw possibility. This untapped potentiality is reality's starting point. This biblical description of chaos and emptiness sounds to me very much like a quantum field, buzzing with unformed energy, high in entropy and waiting for order. The hum, that universal energy frequency, is present but unstructured, waiting for the laws, the word, to give it form. No guy in the sky commanding, but instead something far greater. The source, discovering its canvas and syncing with the rules to spark existence. Deuteronomy 6:4 declares, "The Lord is one." Science sees it as energy unfurling, a field of potential where quarks dance and stars ignite. I see it as divine oneness, no splits or gaps, just one breath humming through it all. The next two verses in Genesis read as follows: And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. God saw that the light was good, and he separated the light from the darkness. To me, these two verses are none other than an allegorical rendering of the Big Bang moment when the hum joins with the laws, collapsing the void into a duality of light and dark, the hum's first breath. A core concept in quantum mechanics is that light behaves as both a wave and a particle, depending on observation. There's more than just a little quantum wave particle vibe in the first verses of Genesis, where light is acting as pure potential in its wave form and then collapsing into its particle form as defined darkness and light. Raw energy is being turned into order, beginning with day and night, the first base pair in the cosmic DNA helix of hum and laws. The hum provides energy, while the laws provide structure. Over 6 days, waters are separated, lands are formed, vegetation is created, lights are placed in the skies, and creatures in the sea. Animals are produced, and human beings are brought to life. These aren't 24-hour periods, they're allegorical phases of gestation, universal laws unfolding potential step by step. On the seventh day, according to the story, God rests. This isn't exhaustion, it's completion, with the system now self sustaining, laws and hum interwoven. Whereas science and the Bible may be using different terminology when it comes to the quantum field, the point where they really part ways is in tackling the why of the field. Although some scientists do explore metaphysical questions, mainstream scientists, for the most part, avoid asking why. They'll map the field's energy, entangle electrons, and measure waves collapsing under observation, but ask them why the field exists, and they shrug. It's just too big, too slippery. But as I see it, Heisenberg, Bell, and Aspect make dodging the why impossible. They cracked open a reality screaming for the why to be answered, because the answers that religion has given us just don't cut it. Rather than a distinct God in the sky of some kind, many people are beginning to believe that the universe itself is a conscious mind. I think Pythagoras, Jesus, and modern physicists would agree. The mustard seed doesn't just contain the tree, it is the tree. The divine number is creation, and the particle is the universe because it reflects the whole, encoded with the same laws that govern galaxies. As we've seen, the smallest things, electrons, seeds, numbers, carry the blueprint of the infinite. From Heisenberg's uncertainty to Genesis's formless void, reality pulses with a hum, a restless, generative energy that partners with structure to birth the cosmos. Whether through Pythagoras' divine 10, Jesus' mustard seed, or the quantum field's entangled dance, the message is clear. Creation begins not with control, but with potential. The seed is the tree, the particle is the universe, the hum is the breath. But if the hum is energy, what gives it shape? What guides its unfolding? That's where we go next. In episode 3, we'll decode the 18 universal laws, core principles I've identified that govern the structure of reality and the mind. These laws bridge science and spirit, offering a framework for discernment, creativity, and alignment with the hum. From polarity to rhythm, correspondence to vibration, we'll explore how these laws shape everything from galaxies to thought patterns, and how understanding them can help us build a mind that's not just awake, but attuned.